What's happening? What's happening? Welcome back to Noxious Masculinity. I'm your host, Moss Man, and we're gonna dive right back into it. Where we left off, we were talking about religion and learning about who you are and becoming a disciple and a disciplined person. And all of those things lead right into work and the type of work that you're gonna have and the type of work that you were gonna do. Um, More than likely you're gonna have to go to work. Your mom is probably at work, growing up in a single parent household. Hopefully she's working, but either way, you're gonna have to work. This is something that you're gonna have to do. Not everybody's gonna be like some of those people who say, I never had a job at all. That's a small minority of people who say, oh, I never had to work. I've always worked for myself. Like, jobs are essential to your manhood and your growth as a person. And I know that's contrary to what you hear, especially in like hip hop culture and just in our culture of today. Like, people don't want to work for anybody. And I think that that's the wrong mindset. The mindset that you want to look at when you look at jobs or going to work isn't just a place that you go and get money so you could go do what you want to do. I mean, on a basis, yes, that is what it is. But you don't want to go into any job thinking, I'm just here to make money. One, you're never going to last there. And two, you're going to miss out on all the opportunities that are in front of you. And not saying that you have to move up in the job or whatever, unless that's something that you want to do. The main thing that I'm talking about is there's essential information at jobs. And so what you want to do is treat jobs and treat work like it's school. You want to go there to pick up as much information as possible because you never know what you learn at that job and how those skill sets might end up transferring to something greater for you later on down the road. You know, learning something like essential like working an Excel worksheet or learning how to do sales and deal with people or being in the service industry and learning how to regulate yourself and your time or showing up somewhere at a certain time and having to be there on time, looking a certain way and making sure that you're presentable to the world. These are like essential skills that you're going to want to take with you on your journey to your manhood, because not only will it help you in business, but it's going to help you in your growth as a man. And if you look at it that way, and if you go into every job looking at it like, I'm here to learn something that's going to help me on my path to becoming, then you're going to always go in with the right mindset. And you're not going to miss the opportunities that you have to learn something and take a skill set with you along your path. A lot of times we do this by osmosis, I would say. Like, you pick up skills just by picking up the skills, and you don't really think about the skills that you're picking up. But if you go into jobs, like if I started when I first started working when I was 16, if I had went into my job thinking I'm here and I'm going to learn as much as I can because this is going to help me down the road, then I would have had a better idea of what it was that I was doing there and why I was there. And a lot of times we look at our why as resources. And if you do things with just resources in mind, you're going to miss a lot of the lessons along the way. And so when you go to jobs or you go to get a job, you want to look at any job that you can get. I mean, it doesn't matter if you're working at McDonald's or you're picking up shit or whatever it may be. Any job you should be looking at it from the standpoint, what information am I learning today? And so you want to treat jobs like they're school. And you want to say to yourself, like, you want to build within yourself this need to work. And when you build up this need to work and you go to work for somebody else, what you're doing is you're building this discipline and you're building the habits of, I need to do something with myself. I cannot not do anything with myself, because the moments when I'm not doing anything with myself, one, it leads to idle things. So then you get into things that don't help you along the journey. But at the same time, too, like, your need to work then transfers into your manhood and being a father and being a lover, and saying to yourself that I need to be of service. As a man, you're going to be judged on your ability to be of service to the world. And the only way to be of quality service to the world is to obtain as much information as possible, to obtain as much skills as possible. So every job that you go to, you want to learn everything there is to know about that job, because maybe you end up starting your own business or you grow in that job, but you want to learn as much information as possible, because that information that you have can then be given to the people that come after you, and it applies to every area of life. Now, when you do get a job and you do start working, you want to learn how to protect your light. You want to keep yourself in a place where you're open enough to give your light, but at the same time, you're not too open as to be ran over. One thing that I learned in working with other people is that there's a lot of different backgrounds and places that people come from that are totally different from you. And so a lot of times people are not going to understand you and your background, and you're not going to understand them and their background, and you're not going to understand why they are the way that they are, and why you act and they act, why you guys interact with each other the way that you do. And so you want to be in a place where you're a willing learner and you're there to offer your light and what you have to give to the world, but you're also protective of it. And jobs usually do this by regulating, how you interact with the customer. And so this is something that's essential in the psychology of work and being around others and learning about yourself, because one thing that you're going to do is you're going to learn who you are and working with other people and how the energy of the place makes you feel, or how the people make you feel. And so you want to learn how to protect your light. And when you're able to do that, this gets you in the realm of having emotional regulation. And one thing that I was taught is leave it at the door, meaning when the person that I am at home isn't necessarily the person that I fully am at work. And maybe there's some things going on at home, but when I go into work, I have to leave it at the door. Everything that I've been going through outside of this job, I have to leave it at the door, and I cannot bring it in with me to this job, because it's gonna mess with my perception of why I'm here. And why I'm here is to learn. I'm also here to be of service and to spread my light, but I'm also here to learn as much information as possible. And I'm learning the psychology of people. I'm learning about the skill sets of the job. And it's hard to do that if you're bringing things in with you to the job. At the same time, on the flip side, when you leave that job, you want to leave it at the door. All of the different things that happen at a job, because it's kind of like being at school, and there's going to be different cliques and different statuses that people have. And so you want to learn how to leave what it is that's going on at the job at the door when you leave that job. And you don't want to bring the things that you're going through at that job home with you. And that's something that is learned over time, something that you have to work on. And this is an essential skill in becoming a man, is learning how to leave things at the door And if you don't have somewhere where you have to clock in and act a certain way and be a certain way and be there on time and looking a certain way, then you're not going to learn the skills that it takes to maneuver your way through life in becoming a man. And part of manhood is being able to regulate your emotions. You don't have the freedom of, not regulating your emotions because you have to be of service. And part of being of service to the world, excuse me, I'll take a little drink. Part of being of service to the world is understanding that what you give out is what you're going to receive. And so you want to be the kind of person who is always thoughtful of how they treat others and how others are perceiving them. You want to be able to protect your reputation because your reputation is going to precede you not only at the job, but if you go to another job. You want to make sure that you're always giving out what you want to receive. So if you, say if you worked at a restaurant and you were a server, you want to learn how to perceive yourself from the other person's standpoint. And this is going to help you work on being empathetic. You want to be able to see you from their standpoint as if you were them. So you want to learn how to treat people the way you want to be treated. And as you learn this and you're going to deal with different personalities and different background types, you're going to see that the world isn't always as nice or as caring. And you'll see that when you are the person that's loving, when you are the person that's understanding, and you treat people with empathy and you treat them the way that you want to be treated, more often than not, you're going to get that same energy back. And so you want to make sure that you are, being of service to the world, and you're making sure that you give out what you want to receive no matter what job that you're doing. And this leads into what I've learned and I've read is called the 3 C's, which is you don't criticize, you don't condemn anybody, and you don't complain. When you can do these 3 C's at your job, you have upped the level of yourself, your spirit, and your manhood in your becoming. And learning how to not criticize, condemn, or complain is going to give you that same energy back. And so when people see that you're this way and you're never condemning anybody and you're never pointing the finger, then people are more often to look at your mistakes and overlook them. And they're more often to look at the good things that you do rather than the bad things that you do. You're going to find that in life, what you give out is what you receive. And it's not going to always be that way. And that's why you need to practice on emotional regulation. And this is what jobs are essential for. Dealing with people, because you're going to be dealing with people your entire life. Unless you go into straight solitude, you're going to be dealing with people. And so you want to learn how to not criticize people. You don't want to condemn anybody for their actions, and you don't want to complain about the higher ups or the people below you. You come in, you learn, you do your job, you leave. And you want to take as many skill sets as you can with you, because you want to say to yourself, I'm not going to be here forever. Or you want to say to yourself, I'm going to end up running this place. And you have to go into these jobs with the mindset like that. Because if you look at them as just a place that you go to make money, you're going to miss all of the good things that can happen within those time frames. And after, understanding the 3 C's, you want to remind yourself your why. You want to always be in remembrance of your why and why it is that you're there and why it is that you chose this place. And you want to remember that I'm here to get as much information as possible because I'm going somewhere. There's somewhere that I want to be. And the man that I am today isn't going to be the man that I'm going to be years from now. And so I am putting pressure on this coal so that this coal can become a diamond. And as long as you keep in mind your why, you're going to make as much money as you need. Money will come and money will go. But as long as you realize your why, you're going to excel at everything you do in life. And in your excelling, you're going to pick up these skill sets that it takes to become the man that you want to be. So don't listen to people when they say, oh, don't work a job or F a job. Jobs are essential to your manhood because as you become a good follower, then you can become a good leader. As you become a follower in these jobs and you do what you're supposed to do, in turn, as you grow, you'll be able to lead the people that are coming in from the bottom up. And this is what becoming a man is about. And so from there, will lead into your finances because once you do get a job, then you're going to start making money and you want to start being smart with your money as soon as you start working. And if you do that, you'll set yourself up for greater returns when your later years come. But we'll get into that on the next episode. I kind of wanted to keep this one short and sweet so that makes it easy to view. But that's basically what I wanted to talk about when it comes to jobs. Don't look at jobs as just a place where you go to make money because you're not going to value yourself and your time as much as you should. Your time should always be valuable. And wherever you're going and whatever you're doing, you should be in the mindset that I'm here to learn something. And you don't ever want to be in robot mode. You're there to pick up on information. And every interaction is an opportunity to get information, whether it's doing a job or interacting with people. You want to take in as much information as you possibly can. So that's all I wanted to talk about today. On the next one, we'll talk about what to do with your money when you do start making money. So till the next time, stay stupid, stay suave, and Moss Man out.